Good morning, children. Today I'm going to continue with Chapter 2 Alice in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll. So please pay attention while I read and explain this chapter. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you ever saw. Now, when Alice reached that 15 inches door, she used that little golden key, and to her delight, it fitted and opened into a narrow way. And this narrow way led into a beautiful garden which she had never seen in her life. How she longed to get out of the dark hall and wander about among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. Now, when Alice saw that beautiful garden from that passage, she wanted to go out. She wanted to get out of the dark hall and walk and enjoy the beauty of those flowers and and enjoy the cool view of those fountains. But she could not even get her head through the doorway. Now, the reason why Alice could not get her head through the doorway was she was too big and that door was only 15 inches wide. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door, so she went back to the table, half hoping she might find another key on it, or at any rate a book of rules for shutting people up like a telescope. Now, Alice knew it was hopeless for her to stand near that doorway, as she could not fit through it. So again she decided to go back to the glass table, hoping that she would find another key or a set of rule books to shut people, to fold people like a telescope, to reduce or shrink a person, in smaller size. This time she found a little bottle on it, and around the neck of the bottle was a paper label with the words "Drink Me" beautifully printed on it in large size. Now, this time, when she reached the three-legged table or the glass table, she found a bottle, and on that bottle there was a label with the word or with the letter "Drink Me" boldly written on it. What a curious feeling, said Alice after she finished drinking the liquid. I must shut up like a telescope. Now, Alice had a very odd feeling. Now, while she was drinking or consuming that liquid from the bottle, she was thinking that she would fold like a telescope, or she would reduce in size, or she would shrink. And so indeed it happened. And so indeed it happened means when she drank the liquid from the bottle, she reduced in size, she shrank. Okay. She was now only 10 inches high, and her face brightened up at the thought that she was now the right size for going through the little door into the lovely garden. Now, when Alice drank the liquid, she reduced in size. Now her height was around 10 inches, and this time her face was very bright, had brightened up. She was very delighted. Why she was delighted? She was delighted in the thought that now she could go into that beautiful garden and enjoy the views of the cool fountains and the beautiful flowers. However, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. Now, before she could go to that door, she thought, let me wait for a few minutes over here to see whether I shrink more or I remain the same size. She felt a little nervous about this, for it might end you know, said Alice to herself. In my going out altogether like a candle, I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after the candle is blown out. For she could not remember ever having seen such a thing. Now these lines means when Alice drank that liquid from the bottle or consumed that liquid from the bottle, she knew it could harm her. She knew that that liquid could harm her. For that reason, after knowing, she still took a risk to drink that liquid. For that reason, these lines means, in my going out altogether like a candle, I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after the candle is blown out. For she could not remember ever having seen such a thing, because she knew that the liquid which she was consuming was dangerous for her. It could harm her, but still she took that risk. After a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the garden at once. When Alice saw that she never shrank, she was still the same size, so she decided that she would go and visit that beautiful garden or that lovely garden which she eagerly wanted to go and walk and enjoy the views of it. Children, I'll explain the remaining chapter in the next class. Until then, thank you.